Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
So what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to MikeRock Uncensored. If you guys are enjoying the content, as always, please do me a huge favor. Hit the like, subscribe, and follow button so that you can receive all the latest updates as soon as I can make them available to you. I had to get on. I thought I was done for the night, done making videos, getting ready for work and stuff tomorrow, but I just finished watching the presidential debate, and I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised with the results. And not just because I feel that Donald Trump absolutely mopped the floor with Joe Biden, but because, and I give credit where credit was due, because despite the restrictions that they had placed on this debate, which I felt was rigged in favor of Biden, it turned out pretty well. So I will give CNN some credit, because even though I still feel that there were some very biased questions that gave Biden an opportunity to ridicule Trump, and not so much, in the opposite direction, I think CNN handled that debate way better than I had expected them to. Still wasn't 100%. And I'm sure that we can nitpick and dissect everything that happened and investigate the situation and try to determine what went wrong, why it went wrong, and just start placing blame. But for the most part, Trump went in and did exactly what he intended to do. He won that debate. He met Joe Biden and the Democratic Party on their own battleground, and he wiped the floor with them, man. Yeah, dude, he did a really, really good job, man. I actually have, if I didn't already have enough respect for Donald Trump before that debate, I have a lot more respect for what he did and how he did it than ever before. So again, I wanted to know what you guys thought. I wish I had enough subscribers where we could have had a live debate about all this. Maybe in the future. I still need to get better at my talking points and everything else, but we're getting there, man. I'm excited about this community that we're growing. I'm excited about what's going on or the potential for what's going on in the country right now, because when you listen to that debate, Trump is basically like, he said it. The country recognizes what's going on, and that's important. Joe Biden, if the country didn't see the weaponization of our Justice Department, or the political prosecution of Trump because Biden doesn't think he can beat Trump in an open and fair election, if people really didn't see that, then his polls would not be going up the way that they are, because of everything that they've already and are trying to continue to do them. And I noticed in the debate that Biden tried to say, and this is just more proof, if you needed more proof, that he is actually going after Trump as a political opponent, meaning that he's running political election interference by trying to get Trump indicted, put in prison, or whatever the case may be. Listen to that debate again, where he starts talking about it's not over. Basically, you still got more charges and more court cases, that he's acknowledging that Trump has a lot of that stuff to deal with, and he intended to bring it to our attention so that we would be like, oh no, but we're already aware of all that. You have no more toys to play with. You've got no more bullets in the gun. You shot off every last bullet that you could fire, hoping that something would have killed his chances of becoming the next president. But I just don't think the Democratic Party realizes how far gone off that bridge they've actually jumped. And it's to the point of no return. Nobody, the only way, and this is actually pretty scary for me, at least to me, the only way that the Democratic Party can win this election at this point in time is that they would have to cheat. And that's scary to me because I'm not saying they did. I'm saying that people are wrong to believe that there isn't enough evidence to strongly suggest that there has been election interference, not just in the presidential election, but just throughout this country for long periods of time. And I honestly believe that that's the reason why a lot of Republicans and Democrats are dodging these investigations and everything else, because I really believe that if we were to put the whole country on trial as far as how fair and equal our election system is, I think there would be a lot of people from both sides who would be in a whole lot of trouble. So I think they're trying to dodge that bullet as a whole. But then you have somebody like Trump come in that's never had to deal with this stuff before, and he sees what's going on, or we have to experience this all over again, and now people have to start answering questions. I don't know, man. I just, like I said, I got a really, really good feeling after that debate. I'm very interested in seeing what people have to say on X starting tonight. There's one delusional person. He's a kid. He's a child. His name is Harry Sisson or something like that on X. And even after Biden got destroyed on stage, he had the nerve to tweet. And I think he's a bot. He had the nerve to actually tweet or post that Trump got destroyed by Biden. And I don't think anybody saw that on TV. I don't know. Again, you guys let me know what you guys think. I would love to have an honest conversation, and not just with this, but any topic that we have in the future, because, as a single parent, a father, and man, I have a lot of talking points that I needed to defend in life, and I would love to just grow the audience to the point to where we can just have these open conversations and possibly even debate certain issues with relationships and politics and what's going on in life. And but at the end of the day, we all know that we join these conversations as friends. We don't have to always agree. We don't always have to disagree, but we should be having these conversations so that we can remind people what debates and conversations lead to. They lead towards solutions. We identify problems, we discuss them, we try to figure out where the problems or the real problems lie, and we try to create solutions as a result. And I think we need more of that, not less. And again, I'm not even an eloquent speaker, but I do know what I'm talking about. If I don't, I'll let you know. I'll tell you, hey, I don't have enough information. I'll go and get it, and then we can do this debate all over again, or this discussion, whatever it is. Last thing I wanted to address, and again, this was a hard one for me, because as much as I feel that our perception of how we see Trump as a whole is wrong, I think a lot of it has been planted. The more I see, the more convinced I am that a lot of the information that we know about Trump is a plant. It's the Democratic Party that has used mainstream media to paint this picture of this man as being evil, when it's actually the devil themselves that are painting that picture. They're the Picasso of this situation, the devil. That's what our government is right now, the straight devil. But outside of that, and I even hate bringing this up for a reason, but they didn't include Robert Kennedy Jr., and I thought that was unfair. I know why they did it. I think both sides agree that Robert F. Kennedy only hurts one or the other's chances of winning the presidential election. If you guys go to his page on YouTube, he has this thing that's called The Real Debate, and I think you can actually access it through therealdebate.com. And he has some really, really strong talking points regarding what he did. Was he set up his own, since they didn't invite him and they didn't allow him to come, he set up his own little debate stage so that after the questions were asked during the debate, they would pause and they would go and they would allow him to answer the question as well, even though he wasn't actually there in person. And I have to say, I thought he did a much better job with the answers that were presented by the moderators than either Trump or Biden did. They spent a lot of time, even though I think Trump did a really good job under the circumstances. They spent a lot of time just demeaning each other, putting each other down, and they didn't address. They I can't say it was intentionally, but they didn't address certain questions that the moderators were asking that I honestly would have liked to have had answers to, like the child care question. I don't think that they answered that question sufficiently enough. There was another one, climate change. I would have at least liked to have heard both, at least from Trump, because I'm not going to sit up and say that I don't believe that climate change is real, but I do believe it's exaggerated. And I think it's exaggerated a whole lot in order to push these political agendas by the Democratic Party. So what I would like as a citizen of this country, or as just, a person, a human on this planet, is I would like real information on just how bad it actually is and not how bad we are pretending it to be so that we can use taxpayer dollars to achieve some mission or goal. Because if it's real, just like with anything else, then yeah, but it's something I would like to address for the future of my kids and their kids after that. But the reason why I brought up Robert F. Kennedy, and the reason why I say that I understand, and I also say that I understand why they did it, is I actually think Robert Kennedy Jr. would serve as a better president for this country than either Trump or Biden, based on their talking points. I think Robert Kennedy Jr. is very real in his discussions. I think he genuinely cares about what's happening, not just to this country, but to this planet. But the problem is we aren't just voting for Trump. We have to vote Biden and his administration out of office. That to me is more important than who beats Biden. I know a lot of people say, well, no, it's more important that Trump is the president. And I don't think that's the case, because if for some odd reason they find a way to keep Trump from running for office, then basically what we're saying is that there's no hope left and Biden ends up winning the presidency. I think more important than anything else is that Biden loses the election, more important than Trump winning the election. And unfortunately, even though I think Robert Kennedy Jr. would probably serve as a better president, I think that by us giving him our vote, I also believe that we run the risk of allowing Biden to become president again, because we're taking votes away from Trump. And I don't think that's a situation that this country can afford to be in anymore. So in that regard, we need to vote for Trump. We need to get the better man in office right now. We need to get that man that we know can remove Biden and his administration from office so that we can clean house and get this government and this country back on track as a result. Now, after that happens, since we know Trump can't run for it, I'm going to tell you what I would actually like to see. I would actually like to see Robert Kennedy Jr. say, you know what? A lot of my views do run with the conservatives, so I would at the very least like to work with the Republican Party. Doesn't mean I have to label myself a Republican, but to work with the Republican Party so I can give off my ideas. I can see what suggestions they're willing to work with and see what works, so that when the next presidential election comes about, I will have more experience in that department. People can see that I'm both a man of my word and that my strategies are actually working. And then we would have more reason, not less reason, to want to vote for someone like Robert Kennedy Jr. I don't necessarily think that I just have to vote Republican every single time to keep the Democrats out of office. I want to vote for the best person for the job. Which is the reason why I kind of label myself a conservative independent, because I'll never let anybody tell me what I need to vote for, or to sit up and tell me that I can't belong to your group because I disagree on one or two issues. That should never be the case. Let the voting system do its job. So anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I was just, like I said, I did not intend on getting on here with you guys. As you can see, I don't have any extra video footage of the debate or anything else. I was just, like I said, I expected this to be a complete and total setup. And I think it kind of was, but I think Trump handled himself beautifully. I think that he went in there and the strategy was to basically say, I can go there as me and beat whatever plans that you've put in place to try to defeat me instead. I don't need anything other than how I feel and what I think to show the people that I am the best person for this job. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. And you guys have a great rest of your day or night, depending wherever you're watching this from the world. I will see you guys again in the next video. And again, please keep in mind, in order for you guys to get more videos like this, in order for us to have more open discussions in the future, it goes a long way if you guys will hit that like, subscribe, and follow button here on YouTube or wherever else you see my pretty face, ugly face, on these social media platforms. You guys take care. I'll see you guys again soon, man. Peace.